Good morning, you lot. I was watching an interview with Teddy Atlas this morning on Boxing King Media. Teddy Atlas has been brought over again by Turk Yellow Sheikh to do some coverage for this and just be seen out and about at this event. I think he's done some stuff in Saudi with some of the boxing gyms in Saudi with some of the young kids over there. So he's part of the Riyadh thing now. Is Atlas. Any one of you out there that have followed Teddy Atlas will know that Teddy Atlas very rarely gives any credit to UK fighters. He claims he doesn't do that, but if you watch him, you know that Teddy Atlas very rarely gives credit to UK fighters, and if ever has never ever really, as far as I can remember or have seen, said anything positive, certainly about Anthony Joshua. He certainly has a thing against Anthony Joshua, and very rarely or never at all have I seen him give Anthony Joshua really any credit at all. So he was talking about this upcoming fight. He was talking about Joshua and Dubois, and essentially he was saying how Dubois had gut checks in his recent two fights. Anthony Joshua hadn't, and he was talking about basically what's in here and what's in here is more influential in winning the fight than, say, technical or physical ability, talking about Joshua's right hand. And he was essentially saying will beat skill. And in a lot of cases that can be the case, but you know, you can get a novice or a journeyman or any fighter with immense will, put that against someone with will and skill. Will and skill is always going to beat just will, isn't it? So his argument was, and he didn't come out in as many words and say, I'm picking Daniel Dubois categorically to beat Anthony Joshua, but he essentially said it in not so many words, and his argument was that Dubois had more will than Joshua. Dubois' will beats Joshua's skill. But that is insinuating that Anthony Joshua has no will. All he brings is skill, which I sort of fundamentally disagree with. I'm always interested with Teddy Atlas because I like Teddy Atlas, and if you're of an age, or many of you guys are all educated boxing fans, you know Teddy Atlas's history. It's much documented. And I always find Teddy Atlas more of a boxing philosopher rather than sort of a technical trainer. If you listen to him long enough, a lot of his stuff is more philosophical than it is technical. Although he does do technical breakdowns and stuff like that. But I just thought, is his opinion of will versus skill? I agree to an extent, but when you get will versus will and skill, you know, will and skill is going to overcome just will, isn't it? But he was kind of insinuating that Joshua didn't have will, all he had was skill, and Dubois kind of had not quite the skills of Anthony Joshua, but will, and Dubois' will would overpower Joshua's skill. And I just find that argument fundamentally flawed, because for that to be the case, you're then suggesting Anthony Joshua has no will and all he has is skill. So I don't know. I just, like I say, I watch Teddy Atlas, great respect for him. I like Teddy Atlas, but it's very rare I wholeheartedly agree with what he says. I've already done my prediction video, so you already know how I see it. But do you lot think Dubois' will is greater? And do you lot think Dubois' will be the denominating factor? The overarching factor will be Dubois' will, and that will trump everything else that Anthony Joshua brings to this fight? Don't know. I'm not so sure. I think Joshua has equal will. Joshua's shown mettle. He's done it against Dylan White. He's done it against Vladimir Klitschko. And people can talk about levels and say that Klitschko was done. You know, that was an old Klitschko. Should have finished Klitschko earlier in that fight. Blah blah blah. You know, say what you will. But yeah, Teddy Atlas, Anthony Dubois' will is going to overcome Anthony Joshua's skill. Don't know. I'm not sure. For me, Joshua's got will and skill. I certainly think he's more skilled than Daniel Dubois. I think he's more experienced. I think he's got a better temperament. I just think he's got more tools in his box. But yeah, the interview's on Boxing King Media. Go check it out. Go listen to Teddy. Let me know what you think. See if you agree. See if you disagree. See if you agree with what he's saying or not. I don't know. Boxing King Media, Teddy Atlas. It's from today, so it won't be hard to find. Anyway, I'll see you all soon.